Hi guys, Rebecca Hidalgo-Rains with Integrity All-Stars over at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And I wanted to come to you guys because I just finished watching an incredible market update that I thought was important to share with you as soon as possible. Tina Tambor from the Cromford Report, I subscribe to her. I'm always on their website. I'm always sharing content. She did an amazing job this morning educating all of us realtors here in town on why we are where we are with the market today and why we are not going into a housing bubble, why maybe it's not a smart idea to sell your house and go rent a house and just sit out of the market because everything is pointing in the direction that homes are only going to continue to appreciate, and we are certainly still in a very busy seller's market. Literally, I made an offer last weekend for a client, and we were the 35th offer. And not that there was anything, spectacular about that house. It was just a great location and great price, and we need more houses. So how did we get here? This is how we got here. Why do we have a housing shortage? According to Tina Tambor, we currently have population of nearly 5 million people with currently not quite 2 million houses. About 10 years ago, from 2000 to 2010, our population here in Arizona has appreciated 28%, but the houses have not increased at that rate, not even close. So check out this slide. You see the chart. I think in 2000, our housing was 1.3 million, and then we only had 3 million in population. So that's kind of a big deal, and that's not going to be able to change anytime soon because guess what? Houses don't build themselves, and that does take some time. I think today we have clients right now that are looking at building new, and they're going to have to wait a year before they get in to their new build because of the demand and all the orders are filled. This was her summary, the year in review for 2020. New listings in 2020, up literally 0%. We only have 38 more listings in 2020 than over 2019. But guess what? We have a whole bunch more people who've moved here. Sales volume in 2020 was up 4%, which is number 2 historically for Arizona. Dollar volume was up 19.5%. Maricopa County listed 111 homes and we sold over 100,000. So when you hear people say that we have no houses, that's not true. It's just the good houses literally here today, gone tomorrow. And you have to have an agent who's going to be jumping on top of those new houses for you as quick as can be, because that really is the key, is just being Johnny on the spot. The appreciation rate compared to last year this time is 21%. Now, mind you, the luxury market is a big part of that. But the biggest thing, and we don't have the full census yet, she was talking about, is that Arizona is number 3 in the nation behind Texas and Florida for growth and for population growth. And, we just can't keep up with everybody moving here, and that's a big problem. Projection, prices in 2021 will continue to rise, most likely throughout the year. There might be a hair of a slowdown, but she gave a wonderful analogy today that I'm going to get to before we're done here. Real quick, the Cromford supply and demand. Now, this is what's nuts. In a balanced buyer and seller market, the Cromford Report Index is at 100. Today, we are at 453, which basically means there's over 4 buyers for every listing out there. The demand is in the green at 130. Yeah, it's dropped a hair recently, but not enough to be noticeable. And then our supply is all the way down to 28%. So that is a big problem for buyers trying to find a home, but it's a great problem to have if you're a seller because you get to pick from all your buyers. This is something else that was really interesting. People who don't understand how it is, they look at this chart and they're like, oh my gosh, look at us. We are higher than we were in 2005. We broke records like crazy. And the market index today definitely is at a record place. But if you notice, and this was a point that Tina made this morning, in 2005, when we were at our peak, it took quite some time before we actually hit the bottom. And the bottom of the market for us actually was 2011 for the pricing. But as far as demand went, and this is what this is showing here, it was much later in 2007. So basically what she was sharing with all of us realtors is it would take over a year or two with no growth at all in our market for homes to flatline or possibly even go down in price. Affordability, if anything's going to slow us down, it's the affordability factor. But good news, we're at record low interest rates, which has kept the homes and the prices very affordable for so many people. Even though the prices have gone up, the payments really haven't changed that much. And here, the Cromford Demand Index with the Cromford Supply Index shows the crash in 2008. And she made a big point today about rentals. And I'm going to probably do more of a summary on a written blog for you guys because there's so much detail. But one thing that caught my eye, or caught my ear actually, when I was listening to Tina this morning, and it made me think of one client in particular. We were out shopping. It was literally the day of the election 2 months ago. And they have come back to town. They're from out of state. They've come back to town right around the holidays, and they said they're going to come back in the springtime, probably spring break. And she was holding off during the holidays to purchase because she just felt the prices for sure had to come down. And what was interesting is Tina said there's absolutely no data to support that. There's no stats to support that. And in fact, when clients say that, they're listening to their emotions, not to the actual stats. And this chart here explains all that because the difference between the crash and where we're at today is nowhere where we were years ago when 2005 hit. Price responds to a balanced market. So again, this is what she said, and I made the notes because it caught my eye, and I'll stop here after this one, and the rest of it will be in my written blog, is she said, looking at this chart is incredibly intimidating for a buyer. But the biggest takeaway I got from her presentation today was, people say, I'm going to wait until it's a buyer's market to buy. Well, she said, and this is so true, it made so much sense. Why would you want to buy in a buyer's market where potentially you could buy a home today and tomorrow it's not going to be worth as much as what you paid just yesterday? She said, in fact, all real estate should be done during a seller's market. The thing is that the sellers want to sell at the end of the seller's market, right, where it's peaking in prices, and the buyers actually want to buy in the beginning of a seller's market as the prices are just starting to go up. When she explained it that way, man, it made sense. And the reality of it is she is certainly expecting that this chart is going to continue to stay where it's at with that demand, because until we can build more houses or people stop flocking to Arizona, the supply and demand predicament is going to continue to remain the same. So while it is intimidating out there, it does make a difference when you use an experienced agent to represent you. Yeah, anybody can sell a house today, but not everybody can help you buy a house and get yourself a good deal, or actually even get a house. So make sure, whether it's me or somebody else, you're talking to an expert who will help you navigate through these waters and are educated on why we are where we are, because education is by far the best way to get ahead in today's market. Hope that helped. Check out my blog for the rest of the slides and explanations, and hope you guys have a fantastic day.